Welcome back. We are about to get our hands wet. I need to share a couple of notes beforehand. They are pretty important, so please pay attention. You'll see me quite often toggle full screen in these areas. The hotkeys are Ctrl plus up to maximize and Ctrl plus down to bring it down to normal size, hence the name. Installing UVsquare. We will need this add-on for the next lecture. Google the term Blender UVsquare. Blender only accepts uncompressed archives, so you need to decompress ahead of time. Go to File, Personal Preference, Add-ons, Install add-on from File. Find the destination directory, select this file, ensure user setting is saved, otherwise you'll have to repeat the process on every new project, unless you want the add-on to apply only for this project. That's it. If all went well, you should see its name listed under User. Selecting edge loops. An edge loop is a series of connected edges, where the first and last meet, forming a circular path. This is a good example. To select an edge loop, simply right-click while holding Alt. We will be using this extensively for marking seams in the next lecture. Avoid analysis paralysis. Remember, there is no right and wrong. Experiment with different techniques throughout your modeling journey. Workflow will develop with practice and constant learning. But what if I messed things up? Here are a few tips. Have checkpoints. Get into the habit of saving different versions with suitable naming convention. That way, if things go wrong, you have checkpoints. Similar to playing RPG games such as Skyrim. If you regret a decision, there is a fallback. To get the best out of this, I recommend keeping a version log. That could be a simple text file containing brief notes for each file version. Or even better, a version control system, which I'll share in the version control section. Be patient. Understand making mistakes are okay. Simply go through the lectures, repeat the exercises, fall back to checkpoints, or start all over since you are still in the base construction, so you won't be losing a great deal of time anyway. It might sound tempting to just skip to the exciting part. Unfortunately, and I learned this the hard way, the time you will burn spending hours, days, or even weeks to fix will be far more substantial than you will ever hope to save taking shortcuts to construct a solid foundation. Remember, perfection is not required, so I would say aim for a B to B+ to be safe. Don't worry if it's not an A. Remember to keep things simple. Ask questions. Since you are enrolled in a paid class, you are entitled to my assistance if needed. No YouTube comments going unanswered deja vu. Absolutely spam and distraction free. Not to mention, you have the amazing Yazoo tool at your disposal. All you have to do is hit Ctrl plus Shift plus C to Instagram your post into the discussion board. If you are still lost in spite of your best efforts, feel free to use the attached solution file in the resource folder. I understand being stuck can be frustrating. It's a common roadblock that can keep you from journeying to the end. So by all means go ahead and grab the blend file to get back to business. Don't let this stop you from crossing the finish line. Of course, I have faith that at least you tried your best to do your homework first. Cheating will undermine your progress not just in this course but any class you will ever take. Remember, practice, and no excuse. Avoid shiny object syndrome. Commit to finishing this course, and not just this one, but anything you start before moving to another. Unfortunately, this is something I have struggled while writing this course. To make things more complicated, I had financial struggles due to job crashes where I live, currently residing in Egypt, owing to outsourcing. So I decided it was time to invest in online freelancing. The problem, that tsunami of information and misinformation that tells you to look right and left in terms of viable niches. Hence the dangerous monkey mind traps. There was a point where I wasn't going anywhere and I said to myself, you know what? I'll finish what I started, not moving anywhere regardless of the circumstances until this task is crossed off my list. Period. One of my favorite quotes, "There's no change without a change in routine," by Joe Salton. Link enclosed in the resource section if you are interested to learn more. Hope these help. Last but not least, at this point I will be mentioning the common shortcuts less often since you already know by now. They are the same throughout most Blender. For example, scaling and moving UV maps around remain the same for manipulating 3D objects, G for grab, S for scale, etc. Alright, I hope you are now ready to take action. I wouldn't do that on an empty stomach, so I would suggest you hit the pause button, grab a bite or a snack beforehand. Otherwise, go ahead and click next class. See ya!